Okay, we're going to get straight on so we can keep going on time, okay? So, number 4 on the bill is... Bill! Bill, yes, somebody remembered. Oh, there's Bill that remembered. Well done, Bill. Bill. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill White.
Good evening, the anchor. How you doing? Hey! Are you having fun? Yeah! Soon fix that. My name is Bill White. I am a non-topical comedian, so in the season of enforced jollity, I am going to talk to you about politics. And just in case of any accidental topicalness, I'm going to set it 30 odd years ago. But to be honest, 2 weeks today is Boxing Day, so Christmas will all be done and dusted. I'm just preparing you for the inevitable. So, bit of background. My parents met, obviously. I didn't have that unorthodox upbringing. But where they did meet was a Young Socialist meeting in Acton. And we were a very political family that made us. I remember leafleting about 6 or 7. The ban the bomb marches in the 80s were essentially family days out for us. And it made it quite difficult when I became a teenager and wanting to rebel. Unless you go the full Andrew Lawrence, it's quite difficult. Because your options are limited. If your parents are broadly anti-establishment anyway, what can you do? I couldn't even shock them with drugs because they were teenagers in London in the 60s. I'd bring my Class A narcotics home and proudly display them. They'd take one look at them and go, 80% baby powder. Just by looking. The only lecture I would get about drugs is shop them all wisely. So, I thought, the only way I can rebel is I can be a bit more radical. I will pick issues. I will do single issues and just really focus on them. So the first one I picked was animal rights. Now, I'm quite weedy now. As a teenager, I was much weedier and much more scaredy cat. I couldn't don a balaclava and run through the woods hunt sabbing, or sneak out in the middle of the night putting super glue in butcher's shop locks. That makes much more sense. It just looks disgusting and everything. It's a different kind of protest altogether. So essentially, my animal rights activism took the place of being vegetarian, boycotting companies that experimented on animals, and that's it. Not the sexy end of activism. It does boil down, I'll be honest, it boils down to reading an awful lot of packaging. But I did wear the balaclava because it was a look. It is a look that gets you followed around by store detectives. But one day, great news, the circus was coming to town. It was an animal circus. There was going to be a picket line. Picket lines, I've done picket lines, a bit of chanting, a bit of waving a banner. Worst thing that happens to you is you get a bit hoarse and your feet hurt. Brilliant. At last, direct action I could get behind. Well, not behind the picket line, that'd be stupid. The day came, the pinnacle of animal rights activism, the high point, which also coincided with the low point of my animal rights activism, because later that night I was punched in the face by a clown. Genuinely punched in the face by a clown. The most surreal moment of my entire life. A grown man, dressed like a tramp, got caught in an explosion in an Avon factory. Growling at me, grimacing at me, swearing at me, punching me in the face, all the time, great big smile. Starry eyes. Unnerving doesn't really cover it. Though on the plus side, it's quite an exclusive club, people that have a rational fear of clowns. Well, certainly amongst civilians. I'm not sure in the industry, it may be a bit different. I know the Metropolitan Task Force set up to investigate clown-on-clown violence, Operation Coco, has estimated that the reported incidents are merely the tip of an iceberg. Or it could be Sydney Opera House or a giraffe. It's very difficult to tell with balloon sculpture. And obviously they are still dealing with a lot of mistrust in the clown community following the crackdown on clown cars when it was discovered that most of them failed even the most basic MOT checks and invariably are carrying far more than the legal number of passengers. But luckily I'm not obsessed by clowns, I'm completely over it. So that was animal rights. The next thing I looked at was feminism. I read Greer, I read Tolkien, I declared chivalry to be sexist, and I once averted my eyes from a lady's cleavage so abruptly that I fell over a bag in a tube station. I had no girlfriends my entire teenage years. I met loads of girls, I talked to loads of girls, I would go to parties, I would meet them, invariably crying in the kitchen or on the stairs or in the garden, and I would feel that I needed to prove my solidarity with them, just to show them that not all men were knuckle-dragging Neanderthals. So I'd talk to them. And essentially, this is a potted history of my 80s parties, right? By the way, this isn't invasive or intrusive, it's nurturing and supportive. And even if it was at all predatory, which it isn't, it sent me 2 hours to get this far, so if anything, I deserve pity, not judgment. So essentially, you could say that a male is a stunted female because they've got the missing chromosome. So, and you're not crying anymore, you are yawning a bit, are you tired? It's quite early, really. But what you need to do is meet a man who's kind of more emotionally sort of mature. Not like that. Oh, sorry, not like that guy. Yeah, the guy there in a silk shirt swaggering in. Yeah, look at how arrogant he is. Yeah, he does look arrogant enough to know how good looking he is. But anyway, no, it's just him and his mates. No, I didn't see any girls with him. No. But anyway, I have finished my beer. Yeah, that's fine. But I don't need another. Oh, you think I should get another one? Okay, cool. Do you want one? No. Okay. I'll be back in a minute. Stay strong. Little window into wide. So I go away. Like I said, it's been 2 hours. I go to the toilet. It takes a long time at a party. Come back out, grab a beer for me, grab a drink for her, because, hey, it's her prerogative to change her mind. Come back out. So bad. Come back out. It's a lot later, because I went to the toilet. Garden's a lot busier. Can't see her initially. Oh, where could she be? Oh, it's that idiot in the silk shirt. Found some poor sucker to swallow his macho bullshit. Oh, and his tongue. Oh, remember, that's funny. She'll like that. Where could she be? Oh, she's going to be mortified. That girl he's snogging's got the same dress as her. No, man, I've still got the bullshit tongue jokes. Great. Where? Good job I've got this other drink, hey? You're welcome, sisters. Animal rights left me with a bruised face. Feminism left me with a bruised ego. My failed attempts at activism aside, has activism changed anything? There are no animal circuses anymore. In your face, clowns! But animal experimentation is on the rise, and abuse has moved from the laboratory into wider society. It's quite terrible. Women's rights have moved on, but the glass ceiling and the sticky floor isn't just the worst nightclub you can imagine. It's also the reason why women are underrepresented at the higher echelons of traditional male-dominated occupations like finance, the law, and serial killing. Maybe I should have done what my parents did and picked something easily achievable, like making sure the world didn't explode in a nuclear holocaust, because we got that. It's done. But everything's gone full circle, and now nuclear weapons are as available freely internationally as cocaine is domestically. But luckily, my mum reckons that North Korea's arms dealer cuts his plutonium with baby powder, so we should be alright. Thank you very much. It's been lovely talking to you, or at you. Have a very nice